Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
I am here with one of the big names of Malaysia, a very famous person, and I'm glad that he has given his time for this interview. And it is none other than Dato Patrick Tan. He is a very famous name in Malaysia, a very famous business person, and he's also a very great spiritual leader, and he has a great knowledge of oriental philosophy, and he has traveled all over the world talking about this philosophy, and he has also a very good connection to Nepal, and it is glad that he's here in our channel and talking about this pandemic and how we can fight with this pandemic and become a better person in the upcoming future. Tato, welcome to this Sarvadik Media.
Yeah, namaste.
Thank you very much for your time. And so what is the situation there in Malaysia right now?
We are having a lockup about a month, and things is very bad. I think the whole world is the same, facing a lot of economic downturns. People have no work, labor cannot be worked, and our food supply is still okay, but still a lot of poverty and poor people who don't have food. But the government is supporting them, public is supporting them. But the COVID-19 case, the pandemic's case, increasing. It's not stopping, because of I think people are stubborn. People still do not listen to the government. Stop running around, stay at home. So. Situation is quite bad, but one thing good is about if you really sit down at home and you actually learning something change. It's the situation in Malaysia is I mean everywhere is bad now. Those who have a lot.
Great. I would like to straight away go to one very important topic which we are going to discuss today. It is about the spirituality of the person, how spiritualism, religion, and a different aspect of religion and spirituality can change the scenario, can change the inner quality of a person. What are your suggestions? What do you think about this?
Okay, let me talk about a little bit about spiritual. Okay, what is spiritual about? Are we talking about the soul inside our body, or we are actually live in the soul? This spiritual. Now, spiritual means mentalities, spiritual. But if in this pandemics, lockup, lots of people have to stay at home. The first thing you have to understand why these pandemics appear. If you study the law of Newton, and if you study the law of Newton, is actually synchronized with the law of karma. We call it the cause and effect. We humans have destroying the nature. We humans have been eating the meat, to kill, to survive ourselves because of our selfishness, our ignorance, our egoness. That's why this pandemic appear. Now make it a little bit logic, okay? Logic, common sense. People say, are we a meat eater in those days? No, you see our teeth. We are vegans, those days. But because of agriculture is not strong in the ancient days, that's why people have to choose to be meat eater. But meat eater became a part of the lifestyle. So it became a habit. And these habitants became slaughtering and killing, And you see this pandemic is actually from where? From China, Wuhan, where people believe that they eat bat, But whether this is a theory of really this pandemic has come from the disease of bats or not, we do not know, because there are still people arguing this is bioweapon, this biological weapon were created by the American because they lose on the trade war of China, so they have to create something. And we cannot accuse whether it's true or not. Okay, but one thing we are sure is because every cycle of the world, every 10-year cycles, there's a lot of disaster happening. Every 60 years, They must have millions of people die. Now, this is nature of the world. But why? Because of humans' mental. We are not born in spiritual. We are not born in earning a knowledge, in whether in the Eastern philosophy or Western philosophy. We are not learned to how to live. We are born where our parents feed us what we do, feed us what we eat. Now, this is on my own opinion, because this pandemic is actually a signal from universe telling you to stop killing, stop selfishness, stop egoness, and stop subduing others or dictating others. Now, this is the message I think the universe is telling us. Let's see about now what happening. The whole world now is very peaceful after the lockup for 1 month. Why? Because the nature force is out. Birds are flying around, animals are being around. You see, if you see the fast food, McDonald's, KFC, the manufacturer this is every second they have to slaughter chickens. Every second they have to slaughter the cow or pork or pig. Now the process of millions and millions, this animal ram been killed for the past decades, and now we only die about 10 or 20 millions of people in the whole world. Why humans? Because humans have the wisdom, humans have the mental, but we use wrong wisdoms, we use wrong mentality in the wrong part. We destroy the nature, we destroy a lot of things. That's why this pandemic appear is to give us a message to clean up. To clean up. That's why in spiritual, we have to increase our wisdom based on what? Based on compassion, based on mercy, based on the Sanskrit called Mahakaruna, okay, or the Pali words called Metta. No, because the Jiva, the life. Now in India it's different. India have caste. In India caste, you die, you reborn again. You reincarnate that again. Now that's why they have caste system. But the caste system is dictatorship, subduing. But if you come back to the nature, what we are doing today, where are these diseases come from? And this disease actually come from protein. This virus actually attack protein. And why are they attack protein? It's called meat. It's because we eat too much meat. We are consuming a lot of animal soul. But some religions don't believe there is a soul on animal. I tell you, when there is a thought, when there is a senses, when they feel pain, there is one. Example. Now I'll give you an example. Fishing. If you take a fish out from the sea, you see how he breathes. He breathes very difficultly. Look like now the pandemics, the coronavirus will attack your lung. You difficult to breathe. It's the same thing. You are like a fish. It's the same thing happening that you cannot breathe. And why must this coronavirus attack your lung? Why not other part of the body? Cancer can reincarnate into your part of the body, become a tumor, become part of your cell. But this one is different.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing, as I was going through your Facebook page, you were talking about the modern lifestyle and we need to change this lifestyle. So what is that suggestion? What kind of suggestion is that? Like,
the more modern you are, our human body are more fragile. Okay, because we attach too many things are unnecessary. Look, every year, circumstances change. Everything's change. In those ancient days, you don't need telephone. But once you have telephone, you have mobile, wireless telephone. Example, you have a mobile phone. If today you do not have this mobile phone, can you live alive? No. People want to go into internet. People want Facebook. People want all these things. What happens if you throw away this? You die. Example, now in this pandemic lockup, if people do not have internet, we cannot chat like this.
Exactly.
Same thing, we are gone. And what happened? We will be crazy, you know. We have nothing to attach. Example, if you sleep without a pillow, you already use pillow for many years. If you sleep with a pillow, what happened? You cannot sleep. Now, because of human's body, human spiritual and mentality attached to too much attachment on materialistic, on emotion comfort. What I mean emotion comfort is your consciousness, you know. You need something to cling, you know, to stabilize your emotion. That is where the arising thoughts create illusion for us.
True.
Now, today, this lockup is actually ask us to understand Mother Nature. First thing is very important. Understand Mother Nature. In future, what should we use? Are we going to use electric? Are we going back to the nature to drink water from the well? You know, there's a lot of things that is a consideration nowadays, because in future things are going to change. This pandemic will tell on one thing. In future, at least 2 years, people will not go in touch. In touch mean body. You know, no more shake hands. I mean, in India culture is good. You know, you don't shake your hand. But at least one thing is we will understand. This lockup is asking us to learn more about nature, to learn more about self, and send more love, more peaceful to the universe and to others people. This is more important. This is important on this lockup. You know, this is what the message the universe have trying to tell him, because he wants us to stop everything. You know, for a moment. You know, if you can stop, you know, every day we are stopping. You see, the mind, when we sleep, we are stopping the body do actions, but the consciousness still awake. But now, this pandemic is a self jail. It's a government asks you to have been self jail. What you going to do in the jail? But if you are a meditator, a hermit, you will enjoy this. If I'm a yogi, I will enjoy this. I will be very peaceful, back to nature. But today, we are used to the normal world now, all these things. Body is fragile. That's why it's good time for you to practice to upgrade your mentality in spiritual.
Yeah, true. So, like, as I was talking about the criticism about the theism, like believing in God or believing in meditation or believing in all those spirituality and spiritual things. So what is your question, or what is your answer, or what is your suggestion to those people who are who they claim themselves as atheist, who claim themselves that they do not believe in any kind of spiritual force, or who do not believe in any kind of God, or who actually do not believe in meditation? So what is your suggestion in that? So what do you think about that?
There are people who want to know more spiritual. Those who do not believe, you see the words believe. Belief might have a support. Belief might have evidence. Now, when we say people do not believe because they do not have the logical, they do not have the awakening, they do not have the experience to support the logical consciousness of what they see. Now, I mean, in spiritual, people talk about soul. People talk about soul do not exist. Soul exists. What is soul? It's a consciousness. Whether we stay in our consciousness or we stay outside of consciousness. Now, this is important. You know, I'm not going to do a debate of this, but I'm going to talk about people who do not believe on this. What they should do? They should upgrade themselves. They should go and now to learn and earn more knowledge about why few thousand years people using spiritual to balance their emotion. In meditations, why are we concentrate in our breathing? Whether it's whatever yoga you are, whatever practice of meditation you are to concentrate in the breathing. And why this breathing are from our nostrils? Why? And because this breathing is called existential. Why are you alive? The philosophy of life. So that's why are you still stay here? In spiritual or not spiritual, whether you are not spiritual, you still need to learn and upgrade for yourself to be in future. I mean, to live better in future. That means it's a good time for us to change.
Okay, so so one way or the other, the lockdown is going to end, and the lifestyle will come once again into the same thing that was happening some like 3 weeks ago. So as you are also a business person, as you have a good knowledge about economics and economy of the world, what are your suggestions? What do you think about the economy of the world? What will happen in the future? So if you have any suggestion for the future generations, entrepreneurs, what do you think about that?
Okay, to me it is, the world is now telling us one thing. If you are greedy, you need to pay back. The world is enough for everyone. It's not enough for the greedy. The past leaderships in economics, leaderships in business are connected to politics. And all politicians, I can say that, are corrupted. Look at Nepal, look at other countries. They are corrupted. And now is the time that you pay back. If you are not corrupted, you won't pay. But because of corruption, the leader, the governments have to pay now. The economy will be very downturn, very bad, because you have to pay back. People will go bankrupt. But also there is opportunity is coming up, because people will see there is always opportunity, like online business, online business. People will use more online, okay? And travel business, people after the lockout want to move around and go out to the country and make change. You see, all this will be changed, okay? So there is opportunity. But one thing is bad is what? People do not want to be in touch anymore. People fear to be in touch. People still, but this karmic energy is already predicted in the past, even in the Illuminati, in the Nadi Sastra, in the what they call the I Ching theory, whether it is those predictors in the past have, even Bill Gates predicts that 3 years ago, saying that they're going to, if we are not going to prepare for this pandemic, now medical industry will grow, all these things. Now one thing's, why we still happening, why still facing? Because we never prepare. We don't prepare. We always spend our energy, we always spend our thoughts and our wisdom. We always spend it. That's why we have to face this problem. So if it, in terms of economics, we have a global change. There will be a global change by using one theory. We call it platform. Look at Zoom. Now I'm talking to you. This is a good business.
Yeah, true.
So in future, education, teachings, all will be in internet. But what happened to the labor?
Yeah.
People were lesser and lesser. AI will appear, robotics will appear, but they will destroy our human life, because human nature have no more the senses. So that's why I say that. And one more thing, in after 2024, year 2024, you will see the South, every part of the South Africa, Australia, Indonesia, South of India, Sri Lanka, all these things, all these countries will grow, But one thing's, okay, things won't change. Our nature's self-attachment won't change. So after these 10 years, this pandemic will come back again.
Okay.
So it's better to prepare again because there's a lot of mutation.
Yeah, true. Exactly. Thank you very much, Dato, for your suggestion, for your recommendations,
Sharing.
and for your
Yeah.
advices. It is a very good advice for people who want to meditate in the future, who want to become spiritual in the future, and it's a very good advice for the people who want to turn into entrepreneurs in the future.
I recommend entrepreneur, businessman, join the network of spiritual, not religious. Religious is idolism.
Yeah.
Spiritual means human nature, peace,
Yeah, connecting.
sharing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. You know, religious is more on idolisms.
Yeah.
You know,
So
you worship
religion
food.
actually, yes, you're true. Actually, religion will divide people. Spiritualism will connect people.
Spiritual will connect. You know.
Thank you very much, Dato, for your time.
Thank you.
And it was glad talking to you. And it is
Thank you.
a very tremendous thing for us, for the Nepalese, to hear from you and talk about these things, that the knowledge that you have. And thank you once again. We will talk to you soon. Namaskar.
Namaskar.